Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report, fresh off a Sunday win over the Miami Dolphins. We have some news items to get in here around the Dallas Cowboys, and we begin with where things stand on a Byron Jones extension. Stephen Jones comes on the radio today and says there have been no extension talks yet between the Dallas Cowboys and Byron Jones. Here was Stephen's exact quote: "We haven't started yet, and he hasn't approached us." Obviously, Byron is the type of player you want to keep around here. So, yes, there have been no extensions yet, but that does not mean the Cowboys aren't going to extend Byron Jones. And this doesn't surprise me that much. Byron coming off the hip injury, I think the Cowboys wanted to wait to see how he recovered from that. And Jones also knows he is going to get paid this off season, especially if, by the way, he waits for, say, Jalen Ramsey to get a potentially market-resetting extension. Xavier Howard, who Amari Cooper just beat up on pretty good, makes $15 million per year. He is the highest-paid cornerback in the NFL. But there hasn't really been a full-fledged market reset at the cornerback position in, say, the same way that C.J. Mosley basically broke the linebacker off-ball market this offseason. So it makes some sense to me that Byron's camp wants to wait, that Byron wants to wait. He wants to have 2 years on his track record of really good cornerback play. So with the highest paid cornerbacks in mind, and with, frankly, how good Byron's been since he moved full-time to cornerback, what would you pay Byron Jones per year? I would love to find a way to get him under $15 million. I don't know how feasible that is unless Byron wants to take one of those team-friendly deals that Jalen Smith took, that Lael Collins took as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What would you guys pay Byron Jones per year? I'm easily at the $14 million price tag. I just wonder how much it's going to rise from now until the end of the season. Maybe you franchise tag Byron Jones if you can get a deal done with Dak Prescott and or Amari Cooper before the offseason hits. Some injury notes here for you. Good news is the Cowboys seem to be pretty healthy coming out of the win over the Miami Dolphins. And some added good news here on Xavier Woods. That ankle injury does not appear to be as bad as first reported nationally. Now, Woods did not practice this past week. He was a non-participant for all 3 days. But he did work on the sideline with trainers. That's a good sign there. And there is at least a chance that Xavier Woods is going to be able to play. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying it's a lock, but there is at least the possibility that Woods is able to go in Week 4. Speaking of Week 4, do you guys want a watch party for Cowboys versus Saints? Get us to 1,000 likes on this video, which we've done before, by the way, so it's not asking too much. But 1,000 likes, and we'll do it for you. So if you want it, give me the like button. If you don't want one, like it anyway because you're a good person and you want to make others happy. So either way, give us a like here on this video. We mentioned Xavier Woods. Let's discuss Darian Thompson now. He was active and very much around the ball this week in terms of how he played. Now, the stat sheet wasn't ridiculous. He was targeted 3 times. There was, no receptions, had 3 tackles, did have 1 pass breakup, and I'll just use the blanket reminder right now, and I'll try not to mention it again. Yes, I know it was against the Miami Dolphins. These Cowboys players should impress against a pretty bad Dolphins team, but overall, I was pleased by how Darian Thompson looked. Now, I will make note, when the Cowboys were up big, they did bring in Kevon Frazier. Donovan Wilson, this does actually kind of surprise me, did not play in Week 3. He was a healthy participant. He was active on the roster. He did play on special teams, but the Cowboys did not throw Wilson out there. Instead, they rolled with Thompson for the entire game. So with that in mind, how upset are you that Donovan Wilson did not play on defense? Grade it for me on a scale of 1 to 10. Number 1 being you don't think Donovan Wilson's any good. You might be kind of a crazy person. Number 10, or a 10, you think he's better than Jeff Heath. He should start right now. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Of course, the end result did not matter because the Cowboys won. And if you bet on the Cowboys, money line, you didn't make that much money. But I told you guys last week to put all of your free play money and make a nice, quick 80% profit. So with that in mind, do it right now. You can still do it. $25 for free to play with on BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is BOYS25. That is a free $25 to bet with. See if you can make some extra money It's free money to bet with. What more could you possibly want? Let's move on now to Dak Prescott, who he was a little bit greedy against the Dolphins, especially in the first half. We'll get to his quote here in a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. It was fine. You can live with that if this is the situation, right? He took a few too many deep shots, forced a couple early, especially on the interception when just run it, check it down to Zeke Elliott, take the yards and move on. Don't try and make a 45-yard pass when you can settle for 10 or 15 instead there. In the end, though, he was fine. Finished with 3 scores. Cowboys won. If that's a bad game from Dak Prescott, I'm going to be fine. Here was his quote, by the way. That was on me in the first half. I was just being too greedy. One of those heat checks or whatever you want to call it. Just trying to do too much in the first half. Just got to take what the defense gives me. You get these shots in a couple of games, and you get anxious, and you want them again. So I get where Dak Prescott's coming from. I do. It was just a little bit forced. But in the end, the haters and losers have claimed that Dak has tried to be, too aggressive or not aggressive enough. In this case, he was too aggressive. So describe the 2019 version of Dak Prescott in one word for me. Let me know what that one word is. I was overall pretty pleased with Dak Prescott. I think aggressive could be a good one. Improved could be another one. Maybe dominant is the word you want there. So some stats here from Dak Prescott, by the way. The deep passing did take a step back. 3 of 8 for 89 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Also had the 1 drop. But I want to remind everybody, passes of 20-plus yards, those are a little bit trickier to actually pull off. The percentage is not 80%. It's barely even 50%. And I find it funny, too, by the way, the advanced stats for Dak Prescott from the Dolphins game are actually kind of ridiculous. The time to throw, how long on average Dak Prescott had in the pocket before he got rid of the ball, was 3.5 seconds, a full second higher than what he'd been averaging, and the best in the NFL. Dolphins didn't have much of a pass rush there. His average depth of target, how far downfield he's throwing, 12.4 yards, second best in the NFL. But tell me more about how Dak Prescott doesn't go deep downfield. His air yards to the sticks, which is just, relative to the first down marker, where are you throwing it? The top tier is normally at about even because, of course, you're not always throwing it deep downfield on first down, but that's 2.3. That was massive. And his expected completion percentage difference, basically, the average quarterback makes those throws. What does the end result look like? Dak Prescott, again, 3.5% higher. He continues to be in the midst of a very, very good season. So, again, guys, let me know in the comments section, what is your one word to describe Dak Prescott in the 2019 season? I would assume they're all positive words. All right, next up, Connor Williams was better in Week 3. I know he had the one ugly mistake, the bad penalty that negated a Randall Cobb touchdown. He just got beat man-to-man. A little chop move by the defensive lineman. Williams' hands goes down, he falls forward, and he's beat just like that. But that was really one of the only mistakes Williams made. In fact, the Cowboys' ground game ran the most behind Connor Williams in terms of yards. 7 carries, I believe 55 yards per next-gen stats with the exact numbers there. I know he had the one gross play, but outside of that, Williams didn't really make very many mistakes. And frankly, as weird as this sounds, Williams was actually better than Travis Frederick in Week 3. Now, of course, Seawill is not better than Fred Beard overall, but Fred Beard struggled with some of the stunts the Dolphins did because those are tough to handle, and he kind of got flagged in the end for Pro Football Focus on those. But I was pretty pleased by Connor Williams. Of course, he is the, worst of the Cowboys offensive line, but Tyron Smith continues to be great. La'el Collins missed his best year ever so far. We know how good Zach Martin is, and there's still Frederick. So, of course, he's the weak link, but he's not that weak of a link. Frankly, the Dolphins would kill to have Connor Williams right now. He might be their best offensive lineman. How good the Cowboys offensive line is overall. All right, to the other side of the trend is here about the defensive line and the pass rush. They're getting closer. I know it was only 3 sacks, which in most games is a lot, but it's not a lot because it was the Miami Dolphins. Those just aren't the best offensive line in the NFL. In fact, it might be the worst offensive line. But the Cowboys repeatedly got pressure on Josh Rosen, on Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, yes, it gets harder as things go forward, but I thought Robert Quinn played pretty well. DeMarcus Lawrence played pretty well. Did they have their best games of all time? No, of course not. but the defense looked better. That's a big deal for me there in the end. The pass rush showed growth. They have to keep having more growth as it gets tougher and tougher. But here are the hurry leaders for the Dallas Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence and Lee Collins. They both had 6. I'll tell you what, guys. If you're generating 25 hurries per game among your top 5 defensive linemen, and granted those do come on the same play sometimes, that's pretty damn good. Now, of course, it won't be as easy going forward, but Dorrance Armstrong had a couple of flashes. Quinn, Hyder, Collins, Lawrence, isn't everybody on the list there? That's pretty good success there, even if the first half wasn't that great for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, with that in mind, are you worried about the defense? Type Y for yes, type N for no, and M as in Mancy if you're a little bit concerned, and just maybe you're worried about the Cowboys defense. Y for yes, N for no, M for maybe. I'm on the maybe side. I'm not panicking yet, but it is a concerning start. This team has not, I know that the overall yards and points are actually really good, but it's not quite what we expect from the Cowboys defense. Some garbage time points and thankfully some turnovers have built up the Cowboys as well this season. All right, guys, make sure you're betting on the Dallas Cowboys. They are 3-0 to start the season. And if you bet moneyline, you're ahead by at least a decent amount so far. Chatsports.com/bets the URL. We told you about that that Boys 25 promo. This one though is Cowboys 120. If you already got involved with the Boys 25, have that free money, maybe you're ahead. Why don't you add some more money to your account? A 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. You will not find a better betting deal out there than the Dallas Cowboys. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 with our friends at BetDSI. All right, one last news item here for you guys. That is around Trysten Hill, who did show some flashes in his first game being active for the Dallas Cowboys. You saw the 1 goal line play that Darian Thompson stopped. On the forced fumble, Trysten Hill also got into the backfield. In total, 2 hurries against the Miami Dolphins, despite not having a box score impact. So if you only watch the box score, maybe you missed the game, you see no stats, you go, darn, Trysten Hill was terrible again. I don't think that was the case. Now, Trysten Hill does still remain a work in progress. He is not an elite player yet, but he was always going to be more of a project as a late second-round pick. So what grade do you guys give Trysten Hill's first game? Is it an A? I don't think so. Is it a B, C, D, or F? Let me know in the comments section. I'm going to give him a C+. I thought about a B, and then I remembered expectations matter here. This is still a second-round pick. Yes, he's raw, but he hasn't truly impacted the way you would hope your second-round pick would. I think that can still come. I'm certainly not calling him a bust. Right now, my mentions are full of, why didn't you give Trysten Hill a winner in your video? Also, Trysten Hill's a bust. There's really no in between, it feels like. I am in between. It was a good enough start, but still a lot of room for growth left for Trysten Hill. So let me know what you guys think there in the comments section. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.